most amazing aspect about a campaign to smash the record for running across the Simpson Desert is the very fact that the record exists. Well, we've already seen that story. Just stay with us. Of the billions of dollars tipped into sporting sponsorship on an annual basis, Motorsport claims a gigantic share. Everywhere you look at an auto track, evidence of the advertising commitment can be seen. Just what is all that signage worth, and how do you account for your investment? In this report, we go to the heartland of American motorsport for the Daytona 500 to work out just how far and fast all those advertising dollars can go. Our reporter is Robert Krulwich.
Great crowd on hand. Glad to have you with us here for today's Goodies 500.
Once upon a time, stock cars were supposed to be just like the cars that you would find in stock in any showroom. Sure. Your car does not have a 700 horsepower engine in it, and your car does not have writing on it here, 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 or even here. Darrell Waltrip owns and drives car number 17. He has won more races than any other active driver, and he says these races are really advertisements traveling at 190 miles an hour.
This is a billboard. This great big old race car's out there, and it's getting on television.
That is putting it mildly. TV networks now mount their cameras below the cars, above the cars, on top of the cars, facing the drivers, behind the drivers, on the head of the guy who changes the tires, which is why every available surface is covered with. There's Miller, there's Mobil, there's Valvoline, Ford, Bosch, Cummins, Goodyear. Good grief. And that brings us to a guy named Bob in Michigan. He is paid to watch the tapes of every NASCAR race and to keep track of every second a sponsor's logo appears on television.
What are you counting when you are looking at this tape?
Right now I'm tracking anything that's on screen, any corporate identity that's visually in focus.
So this sign here, and this sign here, and this sign here?
Yes, as well as what's on the hood.
Bob's work ends up in something called the Sponsors Report. It tells each sponsor the total time that its logo was seen on television during a race and compares that total to the cost of buying a 30-second television commercial in the same race. For example, in this race, the report says that Valvoline got 28 minutes and 17 seconds of exposure worth over $475,000. The best place on a car to have your name is the rear quarter panel, which is seen the most often, and sponsors like Western Auto will pay the car owner as much as $5 million to get that spot.
It's a huge package, and it's identity. It's this flashy paint job. It's this number. I'm number 17.
Right.
When I pray, I say, Lord, it's me, number 17, and he immediately knows who it is. And that's kind of how the fans are. They may not, know Darrell Waltrip's face, but they know Darrell Waltrip number 17. They know Darrell Waltrip Western Auto.
I'm going to name a driver. What I'd like you to do is, in unison, tell me the product that they represent. The driver is Dale Earnhardt. What's his product?
Goodwrench.
Jeff Gordon.
DuPont.
Ricky Rudd.
Tide.
The sponsors pay to advertise on the cars. The fans pay good money for all kinds of merchandise to let the sponsors advertise on them.
That is Rusty Wallace in the car number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford Thunderbird.
So everybody cooperates to give the sponsor exposure, and no chance is overlooked. For example, watch what happens here.
Oh, and Blake Speed, they make some contact.
This is not a disaster. This is an opportunity to get the sponsor's name in a soundbite.
I just got a little help from the rear there, and once you get turned a little sideways on this racetrack, it's pretty narrow right there. So, the Ford Quality Care car was going good.
The what? The Ford Quality Care car.
Does that count on your list?
Oh, yes. Yes, he mentioned it, so we count it.
So he's kicked out of the race, but he has the presence of mind to remember
He kept his composure.
Ford Quality Care. So his sponsor, the Ford Motor Company, has just earned some money.
Yes.
Slipping the sponsor's name into a soundbite is an art. There is a right way to do it.
I just wanted to win this thing for Ford, with 8 victories this year.
And a wrong way.
I like to say something to my sponsors, but I tell you that come on board first thing in the morning, I can't hardly remember them,
So, for drivers who need help remembering their sponsors or whatever...
Jerry, congratulations. How did you do it?
First off, I got to thank all the guys that helped me out. Pure Connection Revenge, Simpson Racing Equipment.
There are schools that teach how to mention your sponsor. with practices and critiques.
Your sponsor mentions were a little ham-fisted.
But the true test for a driver is whether after driving 500 grueling miles, he has the stamina to survive victory lane. This is where the TV cameras, the photographers, the sponsors, the pretty girls, the crew members, and the driver all come together in a ceremony known as the hat dance. And that big guy with the hair is known as...
El Sombrero Hombre, the Hat Man. Everybody got a hat? Hats.
His job is to put the right hat on the winning race driver. Because whenever a car wins a race, every one of its sponsors, including these little guys right here, every one of them gets to put its hat on the head of the winning driver for a publicity photo. The drivers will change hats as many as 30 times during a hat dance, and they must do so in a strict pecking order according to the importance of the sponsor.
Everybody put your goodies hat on.
And as you might expect, there is a guy named Howard in Michigan who counts logos on hats. He showed us just how far sponsors will go to get their hat on television. You see this guy here with the Fram hat? This man is going to stay in frame no matter what happens.
Explain what's going on.
Well, it appears that he's not even watching the camera during this winner's circle interview. He's keeping constantly in focus. As the scene shifts, he shifts to make sure that the hat is always clear and in focus.
Right, he's got his head down for maximum hat exposure, but in just a second, the guy in the center is going to shift a couple of inches to the left. Okay, here it comes, and shift. Now watch this, the Fram man is shifting too. He's staying in the frame, see?
And that's his job, and he does it darn good.
You mean his job is to have his hat be on TV?
You got it.
But he's looking down, so how does he know when to shift? Well, you see that headset connected to his ear?
Somebody's talking to him in the headset to say move.
Someone is what?
Talking to him in his headset to say move, because they're watching the telecast.
You mean they say, move 2 inches to the left?
Well, of course.
These guys will stop at nothing.
That's right.
Has he earned a lot of money for keeping Fram on TV for an extra couple of seconds?
During this interview, about 22 seconds of exposure time for Fram.
Which is worth approximately what?
In the ballpark of about $10,000.
Really?
Yes.
Here comes Fittipaldi. Emerson Fittipaldi.
Because exposure is so valuable, there was a major scandal a year and a half ago when Emerson Fittipaldi won the Indianapolis 500
I'm so pleased.
and refused to drink the traditional victory bottle of milk. See, he says no.
Now there's a first. Emerson, you're not going to drink the milk. Well, I'm going to drink the orange juice.
No, he would drink orange juice because he owns an orange juice company in Brazil. This made the Indiana Dairy Association mad because never had the winner of the Indianapolis 500 spurned the milk. He's doing it again. Mr. Fittipaldi was widely condemned because he failed to understand what the fans and the TV networks and the drivers and their instructors and the sponsors and the guys who track the sponsors and the hat wearers and the hat man all know. Hey! Don't mess with the sponsor. This is a sport that lives to sell.